Okay, we're live in LA, Los Angeles, taking off from supposedly from a US bank tower helipad, and we're going to fly up to, now I got the live weather on, so it should show any smoke from the fires, I believe. Plus also live aircraft. I can see these ones flying. That's a B-739. They could be some aircraft. There's an A-20N. Not sure if they're flying firefighting missions. And as you can see, when I zoom in, you should see Hollywood. Maybe I gotta zoom in more. But it is, see when I go down, there's Malibu. So I'm gonna, oh, here's Hollywood. Hollywood's right there. There's where I'm taking off from. Gonna fly up there through the hills, come back down over to Malibu, then back and land on the helipad in a Cabri G2 helicopter. And I'm just doing it without video on my flight control systems, just audio from the simulator and myself, because I was experiencing a slight stutter, and I'm not sure if that was from the camera video inducing it in a setting there. So I turned that off, adjusted some of the settings in the simulator, and we're gonna fly. And I'm ready. Would be nice. It is nice to have the video on so people can see how easy it is to set up a simulator like this on a, need a fairly decent PC. You know, they're going to run you the $1,500 range, but you do that and cheap $100 flight stick, really easy to set up. Not like those Warthog, more expensive Warthog and POTUS type. Oh, I am on the helipad. That's okay, we're ready to fly. And I'm going to adjust my seat. Now this is live weather. And I'm going to go up just to ensure that right here. Real time, 12 p.m. January 12th, live weather. And you can see the Meta that's the data from there. Going to look down. I want to be able to see my flight stick, and that's a good view there, wide enough. And then reverse outside view, I like to keep it behind just so I can see my numbers, actually EDE 11. And I believe I have a female pilot. Oh no, it's a male. It's a fighter pilot. See in the distance, maybe that would be the Hollywood Hills way behind us. The Hollywood sign should be visible. There, and then there's the water that's looking towards Malibu, and I might see some clouds up there, but it's behind the aircraft. And I'm going to take off from behind a little bit. There is a little sensitive. I can adjust those controls. Oh, there's another helipad down there. I believe. It's not labeled though. Now this is downtown LA. Yeah, I might have to adjust my controls. They seem to have gone very sensitive. Now there is like different you might recognize, like, everything generated that you see is in real life. Now, I do see some tearing of my graphics, and I believe that's because I am on a 1080p TV monitor. My other 4K failed. So until I get another 4K TV, there's some, I want to get a higher hertz one. This one's only 60 hertz. So it limits the frame rates and graphic quality. So ideally you do want to run it on a 4K and a higher frequency, so 120 hertz, or ideally for this type of gaming system, which would match up, increase the frame rates and limit the tearing of the graphics. And that would be 144 hertz either monitor, which I may do. I may get one of those curved monitors. I know where I can get one on sale. It's like a Samsung Odyssey. But there are Samsung TVs, 144 hertz, same thing, but they're very expensive. Like the 80-inch ones are like $5-6 grand or more. Whereas even the 55-inch ones, they're going to run you, I think they're OLEDs and 144 hertz. I think they're still over $2 grand, maybe more. And I'm not very wealthy, so I did get some overtime, so I could. There's my dog in the background. You can hear him. Scooby, Moose. Moose is heel in German. Looks good for all animals. It's a deep tone. Scooby, Moose, 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 Moose. Oh, I crashed while it's going. Scooby, Moose, 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 Moose. Once he hears me, then he'll mumble. Scooby, Moose. And if I go up there, he knows he won't get any treats today. So I'm looking for the Hollywood sign. Scooby, Moose. Now I believe I go up here and then left. Scooby, Moose. Scooby, Moose. 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 He's usually barking when he sees other animals walking by, and that's because he is a rescue from a native reserve. So we believe he's part Canadian sea wolf. He's up there in age, and he's almost 12 years old, and his fur is as soft as a puppy, because the evolutionary diet of a Canadian sea wolf was, this is going for thousands of years, was fish and shrimp and salmon, anything they can get from the ocean's edge in time. See if we can see that Hollywood sign eventually. I'm going to back up a bit. It is kind of hard to fly on the outside. I mean, even though I do got my gauges, it is still a little difficult to watch your and like I said, I don't really know exactly see where I am on the flight path. I believe I am coming over Hollywood Hills and Beverly Hills. And you see all the other aircraft. Those ones in the distance might be fighting the fire. All kinds of them. So I'm going to turn off that map. Just try to run a visual VFR. Sometimes when you come up to these little towns, oh, there's Beverly Hills up ahead. They are labeled, which is nice. So and I'm pretty sure Hollywood is just beside Beverly Hills. And the AI of Microsoft Flight Simulator, this is 2020, which we got AI autopilots, which I can use for general aircraft. The AI autopilots don't work for helicopters. However, it is nice to have the AI autopilot features, because you can enable that on the ground. And they will back up the aircraft, start it up, everything. Enable autopilots, fly. Now you do have to watch them, because they have been known to randomly abort takeoffs and get everyone killed. Now, like they say, this is just a test I'm doing, seeing if I'm getting any stutters. It does appear to be, like, it would appear smooth on my screen, but I believe it's a monitor that's causing my stutters, because it does not, you know, I got everything set to 1080, 60 frames per second. It's still, I'm limited by my output, so everything will try to adjust itself to the capabilities of my TV monitor, which is my real crappy one. So until I get a new one, I really can't solve that problem. So hopefully I don't have as much stutter. It is a little twitchy. Like I said, there's sensitivity settings, which I have adjusted before, but somehow I think they have. What happens, I think, a lot of times is when you get an update from Microsoft, a lot of times it resets a lot of your graphic settings, and it could be your controller settings too. And I don't see any Hollywood sign yet. I'll try to do a little U-turn here. That's Hollywood. Mansions. Hopefully, I think they're okay. Big mansions. And those are generated from satellite photography. The size of some of them. Pretty amazing, but the threat, like I said, the wildfires, I believe, were started mainly by arsonists, and the government, by not by emptying the reservoirs, so there's no water to fight them, and not clearing brush, not sending fire breaks. Basically, they've intentionally created a scenario that could lead to disaster, which has happened, and they blame it on carbon or climate change, which is a scam. Climate change is natural. Most of it's to do with solar flares, solar activity. We see magnetic pole of the Earth has been shifting quite rapidly in the last 20 years. That's not caused by carbon. As a matter of fact, CO2 is the food for all the plants. If you eliminated CO2 completely, only 3% of it, and 3% or 4% of the atmosphere is carbon or CO2, and of that, 97% is naturally occurring from volcanoes and fires, and only 3% is man-made. So it's not, there's no impact on the climate change cycles, which are real, but they're naturally occurring, and the better society is better off spending money to fight and protect society against climate change, which is naturally occurring, not man-made. So you don't tax them. You properly run the government with the money. I mean, the Newsom California government received $14 billion 10 years ago to expand the water reservoir systems, and they didn't do anything. Like, they emptied them. So where did that money go? And, you know, what's his name? He's Newsom. He's a pawn of the World Economic Forum. They hire all these incompetent DEI hires, and they don't know what they're doing, so I'm not sure if it's pure incompetence or intentional, but why would you empty 117 million gallons for maintenance just a month before fire season, if you didn't want to intentionally cause a disaster, because there's no water to respond. So the firefighters are handcuffed, and firefighters, many of them were fired for not getting vaccinated, and they brought in these DEI hires who are receiving, I mean, the head of the water is getting, you know, $800,000 US for a salary, and she's the one that emptied them. This is like incompetence. Okay, which one is this? I don't know if that's a big facility or a mansion. I still haven't seen the Hollywood sign. I don't know if I've passed it. Let's see if we can see. It says Hollywood. A lot of these little areas should be labeled. Wow, that's a mansion. Look at that. Wow. How do you need something that big? I just don't understand it. I don't know who lives there, but I mean, it'd be actually be really good for a campus. But, and it looks like it is made of concrete, which would be resistant. Biospheres are actually, there you go, you'd still be hooked up to municipal power and storm and sanitary sewers, but you would have geothermal, massive geothermal, which is basically just keeps inside the biosphere at a Earth core temperature, which is, I believe, like 68 degrees. So, and couple that in with greenhouse effects of transitional glass, you can increase the temperature inside for the winter, and also through solar charged heaters, electric heaters, and also cooling, transitional glass, and then geothermal, which will essentially cool it to 68 degrees in the winter. You could have some other, there's a nice place down there, some tennis courts. They're really nice areas of California. I mean, I don't know if we can see any of them labeled where they've been destroyed. Hopefully these ones are okay, but as we get closer to the water, I know that's where the Palisades area was. I still haven't seen the Hollywood sign. I think I did pass it. Circle. And it is kind of hard to see. And it is a big area. If you don't really know exactly, you know, I may have flown by it, but it is neat. Like everything you see there on the ground, back down to Santa Monica, towards Santa Monica. That's say the golf course there, and be a country club. There's some like lawn bowling maybe, or tennis courts. That definitely looks like a golf course, albeit maybe only like an executive 9. Or actually maybe an 18, so I'd say now that I look at it, it is. Okay, I believe we are coming into the Palisades area. And I'm going to go right up the coastline to show where the Malibu area that was destroyed, to give you another look at those houses. And now I'm not sure, but I do believe I'm in the Palisades area. That H on my screen is because I got it set to land there. The helipad, I off. Maybe this is the Palisades. Not further. Oh yeah, there's the Tonga Beach. I think that is right near Malibu. I believe of everything below us is Palisades. Now you got to remember, not everyone in the Palisades lives in a mansion. There's a lot of people that are not very wealthy. They've lost their insurance. They're decimated. They were coming down to I think that's the Pacific Coast Highway. I just want to see if any of the Malibu houses have been generated. They should be generated once I get to Malibu, which I believe is a few kilometers. Now, it's not perfect on the regeneration. Sometimes there's weird anomalies, like trees in the middle of a high road or under a bridge that doesn't generate or appear. Because I do believe the 2024 might be a little more accurate, but it is fairly accurate, which is 2020. And everything you see there is probably there in real life. Now, there's sometimes if you get too low, they will look malformed, some of the buildings. Although that one, those look pretty good down there. That one estate on the hill back there was exact. But it was a whiter structure, and I believe whiter structures are easily created with the AI generation software. Now I don't see anything on the beach yet. Sure why? Okay, just not there. I thought there was Malibu houses. Maybe this is the Palisades there. I thought there was houses right on the left side. There's a little car park. I think they have cars and coffee events with DDE there. Dash 11. Call sign aircraft. If I did any communications, they will. Oh, this must be it right here. Those must be the Malibu houses that were devastated and destroyed. It's so weird that it jumped from the hill down. And coincidentally, they're finding houses that weren't connected to their smart meters were unscathed, and also houses with blue roofs. And the Scientology buildings are all blue roofs, and some other Masonic buildings have blue roofs, and they were unscathed. So almost makes you wonder about directed energy weapons, which would be lasers. I believe they may have emptied those what do you call them? The reservoirs, because I think their directed energy weapons deplete oxygen, or not oxygen, but moisture from anything it contacts, and will possibly melt cars, ignite them, but causes combustion in certain, I think it depends on the wavelength. Now, I suspect the reason blue roofs aren't affected is because I think it's a blue laser, and that frequency so happens to be 660 hertz, which is the same frequency of the color blue. So maybe these satanic 666 hertz lasers cannot penetrate the color blue because it's the same frequency, which would repel it. It would actually, if you have anything at the same frequency, when they hit, they prevent anything from disrupting per se. So essentially it's like a repulsion. if you're a different color, which is at a different frequency, 666 frequency, can penetrate and ignite it through its frequency wave, which will either ignite your smart meters, I'm not sure, activate them, or ignite your gas. There's my dog again. I'm gonna probably turn around up here, go back, land, just give a little show of Northern California, north of LA. I go up to the end of this. I'm not even sure how far I am. I think I'm past Malibu, or this could be Malibu. But this simulator does an amazing job recreating. And you see the aircraft in the air. They're all real aircraft. They have live weather and airflow, air traffic. My dog is still barking. Won't land to go up there. Scooby, Wolf, 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 Scooby, Wolf, Scooby. Okay, I'm gonna have to land this aircraft and get a deal with Scooby. Then we will go back to the. So let's land on the beach. I think we're north of Malibu. My controls have been reset, so that's why it's a little twitchy. Normally it's a little smoother because I have the sensitivities lowered, and kind of like, no, there's kind of an anomaly vehicle there going up a hill. So I'm coming into land on the beach. We'll hover here. And coming in. Nice landing. Nice landing. At the end. There we are. I'm going to leave that run, and then we will go upstairs. And I've seen like 2 or 3 blue jays too. Yeah, like at the same time. Well, that was Scooby. He just wanted his treat ball retrieved. It was stuck under a chair. we're ready to take off. I'm trying to cut down my sugar intake, so I was drinking too much pop. Okay, we're taking off. Okay. Now, I can get other when I do get a new TV monitor set up at a higher
approach
frequency, so I don't get
DD11
that
Delta
carrying.
Delta Echo -11 is type 11 miles west of Santa Monica, 100
AI
feet.
doing communication.
Request flight following.
DD11 Delta Delta Echo -11 SoCal approach.
That's cool.
Squawk 2416.
And we're flying back. I think this is just north of Malibu.
Good day.
And there's some.
Squawk 2416 DD11
not sure
Delta Delta
how
Echo
these.
-11.
I know a lot of those houses in Malibu, I think further down, were destroyed. I'm not sure how this area made out because it's not labeled. I think this was safe. But there are some majestic houses.
Roger DD11
and
Delta
there's
Delta
one
Echo
that I'm going to fly over on the way back to that big tower. Just a massive, it looks like something out of Iron Man. Estate mansion, all white, and so perfectly built and regenerated in detail, because the software uses satellite imagery to now this is I believe it's about 7-8-year-old satellite imagery, and it generates these structures from that imagery, and it does a really good job. Look, like millions and millions of auto-generated structures anywhere in the world, and a lot of them are very detailed, and then some other ones are manually edited, so because there could be anomalies, especially when you get in big cities where a lot of skyscrapers are close by. It could be partially blocked from trees, so there are sometimes anomalies, but this California coastline is very, very accurate.
Delta Niner Niner 6 Niner heavy climb and maintain 15,000 feet.
So if you lived up here in these subdivisions, those roads would be exactly like that. Those cul-de-sacs, everything. Now I do believe this might be Malibu right in here, coming up, some part of Malibu that was affected by the fires, and then just past that would be area. Yeah, I believe this was where
132.85 Dynasty Flight 107 heavy.
now you might. It looks like there was some other wildfire debris or hillsides, which would be from fires from more than 8 years ago. You can see them on the left. So it is not uncommon, but they got to come up with some sort of a mitigation measures that were essentially ignored by the federal and the state government level, and even down to the Palisades and the Los Angeles level, with their DEI craziness and creating DEI positions where they're hiring firefighters that can't even carry anyone.
Delta Niner Niner 6 Niner heavy contact Los Angeles Center on 132.85.
This is the Palisades area right below us.
Good day.
That was destroyed. And like I said, they're not all mansions. There are mansions up in the hills, but a lot of these houses are just average houses.
132.85 Delta Niner Niner 6 Niner heavy.
Look at that, there's a mansion there. Wow, that's a nice one. It's to the left. But there are a lot of nice houses, and the insurance companies recognize that there was these hazards because of negligence by the federal and the state level governments and the water agency of draining the, I don't know if those are states, or draining the reservoirs. This doesn't make any sense. When you do that, what happens is, because they're up in the hills, and 117 million gallons. Even if they had multiple other reservoirs, they would deplete themselves, and there wouldn't be enough pressure because it's the elevated gravitational effect of those reservoirs that creates the water pressure. That's why you got head pressure formulas, and that's how the basics of water engineering are performed. Now you do have pumps and other stuff that but the main component is the head pressure of the well, there's Brentwood Heights. That was being affected. So right below us was all affected. And I don't know why we don't see Hollywood. So I'm going to look for it again on the way back. I haven't found the Hollywood sign. I'm not even sure if it's generated in this simulator. I know a lot of signs on buildings and on the ground are generated. Let's see what these three. I do not see Hollywood labeled anywhere, which is strange. And I don't know why maybe I have to get down to a lower altitude. But it showed that for 5 o'clock, the dinner. 5 o'clock are the reservations. Yeah, so she should be home soon. And I'm just looking.
SoCal departure, SkyWest 5872 Heavy is passing 900 feet, climbing 13,000 feet.
Now this is Brentwood here, so
SkyWest 5872 Heavy, SoCal departure altimeter 30.06 radar contact, continue.
I believe this area was partially impacted. And I'm going to look for that big mansion.
SkyWest 5872
And
Heavy, traffic is 6 o'clock 3 miles.
Hollywood
at 100
sign,
feet, Airbus A20N.
and
Report them in sight.
I can actually look around the cockpit, but it is distracting because I have to run a throttle auto cyclic control,
SkyWest 5872 Heavy,
and
have the traffic.
I got to give input in for the rudder. Ooh, there's a nice mansion down there. There's one big white one. It's so well detailed.
SoCal departure, SkyWest 5218 Heavy is passing 1,300 feet, climbing
Where
9,000
that
feet.
Hollywood sign is.
SkyWest 5218 Heavy, SoCal departure altimeter 30.06 radar contact, continue.
It's got to be up here somewhere.
SkyWest 5218 Heavy, traffic is 11 o'clock 3 miles at 3,200 feet, Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. SkyWest 5218 Heavy, traffic is 6 o'clock 4 miles at 200 feet,
No
Airbus
idea where this
A20N.
Hollywood.
Report them in sight.
Oh, that's that big mansion up there. Where the Hollywood
SoCal departure, JetBlue 524
sign
Heavy is
is.
passing 900 feet, climbing 7,000 feet.
So many.
JetBlue 524 Heavy,
Hill-
SoCal departure
hilly
altimeter
areas.
30.06 radar contact, continue.
You don't realize how
JetBlue
many
524 Heavy, traffic is 11
rolling
o'clock 4
hills there
miles
are
at 2,900 feet,
surrounding
Airbus
LA
A20N.
until you actually
Report them in
fly
sight.
around. There's that big, massive. Look at this.
SkyWest
like something right out
5872
of
Heavy,
Iron
traffic
Man.
is 1 o'clock 4 miles at 1,700 feet, Airbus
Massive,
A20N.
massive.
Report them in sight.
That's got to be $100 million house.
JetBlue 524 Heavy, traffic is 6 o'clock 3 miles at 500 feet, Airbus A20N. Report them in sight.
Wow.
JetBlue 524 Heavy, traffic is 2 o'clock 2 miles at 6,000 feet, Airbus
Sort
A20N.
of
Report them in sight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is where
SoCal departure, Spirit Wings 1366 Heavy is at 1,300 feet, climbing
I see
7,000
the
feet.
Hollywood sign. No idea where it
Spirit
is.
Wings 1366 Heavy, SoCal departure altimeter
So, yeah, but I think that is
30.06 radar
where
contact, continue.
Kobe's helicopter crashed
SkyWest
down this highway.
5872 Heavy, have the
It cuts
traffic.
through the mountain, and it was following
SkyWest 5218 Heavy,
from
traffic
the
is 1 o'clock
north
4 miles at
to
2,000
avoid
feet,
the
Airbus A20N.
weather
Report them in
and
sight.
cutting down there to get to wherever they were
Spirit Wings
flying to
1366
from
Heavy,
one
traffic
side
is 1
of
o'clock 3
to
miles
another.
at
It would
5,100
have
feet,
taken
Airbus
probably
A20N.
3
Report them
hours
in
of
sight.
traffic. Yes, I do believe.
JetBlue 524 Heavy have the traffic.
I mean, it could be up further.
Skywest 5872 Heavy, contact Los
Not a
Angeles
nice
Center on 132.85. Good day.
Look at these. Now, I believe all this area is safe for now.
Going to 132.85, Skywest
Behind
5872
us,
Heavy.
that the Brentwood area that it had reached. Just look at these. And you can see the less trees and the whiter the structure houses are, the more detailed they're generated. No idea. There's looks like a lake up there.
JetBlue 524 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 190.
So we're gonna go back and land. I don't know how this flight's getting a little long, but you don't realize how many
Climb and maintain flight level
houses
190, JetBlue 524 Heavy.
are built all over these hilly areas, and they need proper forest mitigation measures as far as water supply, building materials, and debris removal, dead tree removal, and that's where they've assigned billions of dollars, $14 billion for that purpose. And what have they done? They've spent it on illegal migrants, giving them $5 billion a year in free health care. No one else gets that. They do. And there's been sightings of up to 20 sightings of these migrants with blowtorches and prepaid UN credit cards in the area that are lighting these fires. So it's like it's a UN sponsored, WF sponsored scam, and to blame it on climate change. Oh, there's Hollywood up there, West Hollywood. Okay, now I know where the Hollywood sign might be.
JetBlue 524 Heavy, contact Los Angeles Center on 132.85.
Now look at these houses. These are. I think this may have been. I'm not sure if this area was affected or not. But you know, if I was an actor, this is where I'd want to live really close to where you work on your movies and TV series in Hollywood. So I believe this is coming up to West Hollywood, and then we will fly carry on. Oh, look at these nice, there's a nice big estate down there. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable amounts of money. The wage and the wealth gap is just decimated. There is no more middle class. It's just uber rich and poor. Because it doesn't matter if you make $100,000 a year. It costs a lot more than that to live. As a matter of fact, you need to make about $200,000 to $300,000 a year just to qualify to buy a house in Canada. So this, I believe, is Hollywood. There's just something on the side of that building. I'm trying to read it. So this is togetherness. January HBO, that's an advertising. So we must be in Hollywood here. And let's look for the sign now. See it? Okay, but that was West Hollywood, so it might be a little further. It's kind of weird if it is the Hollywood sign. When they took pictures, they had the Hollywood sign and the fire behind it. I wonder if that was fake generated. More advertisements on buildings, and that would actually be on those buildings. Massive advertising, big screens. We are looking for the Hollywood sign. Scooby, Los. What's getting him so agitated? Scooby, Los. Heel in German because it's a deep tone. Los. And when he hears it, if I say it loud enough, he will grumble. Meaning, why are you telling me to heel when he is just doing his job? And now someone is coming in the door, my sister, so that's probably what he heard in the driveway. And he's just letting anything that he hears know. Maybe change a little bit of a camera angle to the right side so I might see the sign flying by, but like I said, I don't even know if it is being generated, and I don't want to spend all day in a wild goose chase. So I will just carry on a little further. I'm not going, hey Cal. I had a sore throat and we might get called in tonight. It's supposed to snow. It might snow tonight too. They're expecting a system to maybe come through tonight. Later on, but I'm just going to make like soup and maybe a grilled cheese or something. I've been trying to stay down here because I don't think I'm sick, but when you have a sore throat and a bit of a cough, well, I don't know. I think it's just, because it would come and go for the last few weeks. And that's why a lot of people have been. Like Joey's been sick all weekend too. But she's had, she was having like a bladder infection too, so there could be multiple causes. And still looking, I don't think we're going to see the Hollywood sign, but it is nice looking at all these massive properties. I made bacon and eggs and for me and Mom today.
Heavy traffic is 6 o'clock, 3 miles at 100 feet, says the Skyhawk. Report them in sight.
What's that? No.
American 1658, heavy traffic in sight.
I'll bring it up after. It probably has to go on for a few minutes to. And we're flying back across. This is LA. In it's a Beverly Hills area. There's a soccer stadium.
SoCal departure says the November 6-9er for Quebec Sierra is
it is like LA is just like
5,000
massive area.
Says the November 6-9er for Quebec Sierra.
Realize
SoCal departure altimeter 30.06 radar contact continue.
Circle, glance in the hills, I might see the mountain. And that looks like it might be there. Let's fly towards it. I don't think it is I believe that's a mansion. But you never know. We'll check it out while we're up here. Hey, Scooby. My Dougie. Oh, come on. Up on the couch. And you can see when you get down lower, there are some anomalies in
American 1658 Heavy, climb and maintain flight level 190.
but it looks a lot better. That might be the Hollywood sign. It does. It does look better when you get a little higher, up around 3 to 5 feet. That's how it's generated from. It's not from ground level cameras. Yeah, that is a Hollywood sign. I believe. You're gonna get close, but it may not have been generated properly.
Maintain 10,000 feet. Keep speed not above 230 knots. Cessna 4 Quebec Sierra.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's just. Wow, that looks like a dome building. Must be in the state or something. Yes, I thought that was an Hollywood sign. That is quite the...
SoCal approach DDE 11 Delta, Delta
Looks
Echo
like an
minus
observatory.
11. Request clearance to transition
Nice.
Charlie airspace.
Water fountain.
DDE 11 Delta,
That's
Delta
cool.
Echo minus 11 SoCal approach. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Okay, we're going to turn around and go back.
Cleared through
Land
Charlie
on the
airspace DDE
helipad.
11 Delta,
Wow,
Delta
look at
Echo
that.
minus 11.
That's quite the...
SoCal departure
But with the
Polaris
parking lot
1719
there,
Heavy is
I
at
wonder if that is some
1,100
sort
feet,
of
climbing 7,000 feet.
federal... That
American
could be that
1658 Heavy,
Getty.
contact Los Angeles Center on 132.85. Good day.
Let's see, odd.
Polaris
Oh, wow,
1719
did
Heavy,
not
SoCal
find.
departure altimeter 30.06 radar contact. Continue.
Yeah, let's go back.
132.85 American 1658 Heavy. Goodbye.
Get some cheese.
Yes, I got some cheese. And a cookie.
Oh my goodness. Just departing out of the studio. And I'm flying back to the US Bay Tower helipad. 3 nautical miles.
Oh, I see. Oh, yes, you're the best dog in the world.
Oh, your fur so soft. You got a healthy body. Like, how do you do that, Scotty?
You got the body of a 2-year-old and puppy fur. Your fur is like a puppy.
I don't know how you do that. It's got to be SeaWorld. It's Canadian, we believe. It's a rescue from native reserves, and they would transport dogs from natural breeds. And in British Columbia, a lot of the breeds are part wolf. Now, SeaWolf is a kind of looks like a cross between a wolf and a husky and a coyote. They're not very thick, and their diet consists of whatever they scavenge at from the seashore of British Columbia. The salmon, mollusks,
SoCal departure Delta
shrimp,
9969 Heavy is passing 800
crab,
feet,
whatever they
climbing
can get.
9,000 feet. Delta 9969 Heavy,
Oh,
SoCal
good.
departure altimeter 30.06
I gave
radar
him some
contact. Continue.
treats already, and he's been outside a bunch of times.
Delta 9969 Heavy traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at 4,900 feet Airbus A20N. Report them in sight. Polaris 1719 Heavy, climb and maintain 15,000 feet. Delta 9969 Heavy, have the traffic. Climb and maintain 15,000 feet. Polaris 1719 Heavy.
Okay, coming in. You can see these. I didn't know right downtown LA, there's all these smaller, like there's baseball, football stadiums. I'm not sure what they were from. They don't look like they have enough seating. Maybe practice facilities. And we are coming up to the helipad. There are other helipads, but they're not labeled. This is the only one, so this one must have like a radio control system. The other ones might be just private ones. So they do look, I see beaches on them, I believe. Yeah, they're almost like every building has a helipad, which is kind of cool. So, wow, that's amazing. So we're gonna come on the bank tower. Now the way you do it, you got to come in and almost do it like a hover crawl approach. Not too fast, and you got to watch for downdrafts when you get near the building. So that's why you got to get into a hover, but you got to keep some altitude, because around the edges of the building you will get loss of lift and downdrafts, where if you stay up above and then come down like I am now. Okay, and this looks good considering I do have sensitivity issue with my light stick. Okay, there we go. Look at that, perfect landing. Look around. LA International. Now I do believe it is somewhere by, probably clearly by the sun. Heights. Pretty cool. If I can zoom in enough. Oh. Well, I don't know where. Hollywood might be up there, but I don't see any signs. I did see West Hollywood labeled. Well, I think that's enough. Is ending the flight over LA surrounding areas and Malibu, so people can see the pre-destruction building, which is devastating. Here we go. You got it.